Welcome back. In this session, we are going to discuss how to use index and match to solve complex lookup problems. What I am going to do is first explain you how an index function works, then explain how a match function works, and then put these two together. Here is an example showing revenues and operating profit from different countries. We want to pull the revenues and operating profit for the selected country using index and match function. Let's start with the index function first. So to use the index function, we'll type is equal to index, bracket open. The first argument in the index function is an array argument. So we'll give it an array. Think of an index function like a GPS. For this GPS, you would like to upload a map. Your map is your array which has the answer. So we need to ensure that the answer is included in the map. Once we select the array, we type comma and then it asks for the row and the column numbers. The row number is compulsory and the column number is optional. We need to tell the index function how many rows it has to move down and how many columns it has to move towards the right. Rows and columns are like longitude and latitude in a map, and these are the numbers we have to give to the map. Let's say if we put 2 as the row number, and since the column number is optional, we leave it blank, then bracket close and enter. We get Canada as the answer. This is because Canada is the second row in the array. Now, instead of 2, if we type 4, we get UK as the result because UK is the fourth row in the array. Now, what happens if we put the column number as 1? The result is the same because there is just one column, so it doesn't move from one column to the other. If we type 2 as the column number and press enter, we get an error because column number 2 is outside of the defined range or array. If we extend the array to the second column and then press enter, we get the answer as 25,555 because we have asked the index function to move 4 rows down and then move to the second column, which is the revenue for UK. This is how we can use the index function. Now, the part that we want to automate are the row and the column number. For this, we will use the match function, as the index and match function work in sync with each other. Now let's discuss how to use the match function. To use the match function, type is equal to match. The first argument is the lookup value. So we can select the country for which we are looking for. So we will select Australia, then comma, and then it asks for a lookup array. So where can Excel search for Australia? So we'll give the name of the countries as the range. And then the third argument is the match, whether we are looking for less than, greater than, or exact match. So we will type 0 because we are looking for the exact match, bracket close and enter. We get the result as 6 because Australia is the sixth country in the range. Now, one thing which we have to remember for using the match function is that it is a one-way street. So either it can look for cells in a column or cells in a row. It does not work if there is a multiple selection. So if we select the entire range and then press enter, we get an error because it does not know where to look for the lookup value. The match function works in a single direction, so it can look for value either vertically or horizontally. So we can't give it a broader range. This is how a match function works. Now let us put these two functions together. So we will delete this. To use the index and match together, we will type is equal to index, bracket open. For the array, we will select the entire range, then comma. For the row number, we will use the match function, match. The lookup value is Australia. Where can it look for Australia? Australia has to be looked in the list of countries. One point to keep in mind is that the length of the array for the index and match function has to be in sync. If they are not, then it is going to return a wrong address to the index function. Then for the match, we'll type 0 and then bracket close, comma. The third argument is the column. So we are looking for the revenue for Australia. So we will use the match function again. We are looking for revenue. So select cell H4, comma, and then the range where it can look for revenues, comma, 0, bracket close, enter. So we get the revenues for Australia as 19,000. This formula is working fine. If we select US, we get 32,098, which is the revenue for US. Now, to pull the operating profit for the selected country, we will use the same formula. So we can copy and paste this formula to the operating profit. But before doing that, we need to fix the formula. So we'll fix the range by pressing F4 key. So press F4, F4. Instead of revenue, we are looking for operating profit. So we'll press F4 twice so that column H moves to column I. Then freeze the range again and then enter. Now we can copy by pressing Ctrl C and then paste it by pressing Ctrl V. So we get the operating profit as 3840, which matches with the operating profit for US. If we change the selection to India, we get the revenues of 22,880, which matches with the data, and the profit of 2160, which matches with the operating profit for India. So this is how we can use index and match function. Hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you.